Welcome back. In this video, we're going to take a look at 4 really cool upgrades to your Leatherman Surge by BackcountryCAD. Now, quick disclaimer, BackcountryCAD sent me these products for free and I do get to keep them or sell them at the end of the review if I would like, but my opinions are my own, and all 4 of these items that we're looking at today were made by 3D printing out of 3/16 stainless steel. And we're going to start by looking at the pen. The pen fits into the T-shank holder. When it's in there, it's a tad wobbly, but that doesn't matter because to use it, you're actually going to probably take it out anyways, because if it's in there, you're not going to be writing like this. Feels fine to hold. My hands are on the slightly bigger side, and I wouldn't want a pen any smaller than this. I think the ink is great. It writes great. Yeah, so despite my poor writing, this pen writes wonderfully. BackcountryCAD said that they use high quality Troika pen cartridges, and when I asked them how to replace the ink cartridge, he said that, and I quote, "Right now they aren't replaceable. Originally I didn't anticipate it as an all-day, everyday pen, so it should last for years. It's difficult to design something that holds a pen cartridge reliably in 3 millimeters thick of material." Okay, so that's what he said. So basically, what I got from that message is that he designed this for sporadic use. You fill out a form quickly at the doctor's office, or sign a check, or small little stuff that you maybe do once every week or so. So overall, I think this is pretty neat. And here is a banana for scale. So next up is the bit driver insert. So you insert it into your Leatherman bit driver, and it holds bits vertically and horizontally. Boom. When you have a regular bit in there, there's almost no play whatsoever. And in here, there's only a little bit of wobble play, but overall, pretty great. You can see something like this that has the power bit feature. Fits well in here. It has a little bit of wobble. In here, it has a lot of wobble. But the magnet is pretty good. That does come out, but you can see here, individual bits are held really well. In fact, this magnet is really good. You can see here, can't shake it out. So in this other mode, it can come out a little bit easier. It does not hold the Leatherman bits very well. There's a lot of wobble, a lot of play with the Leatherman bits. You can still use it this way, but you can't use it this way. It just won't stay in this way whatsoever. Like the magnet will keep it in, but it's just all wobble city and it will come out completely. So fun fact, my unit is not 3/16 stainless steel. He was experimenting with different materials, and this is a earlier version of it. The final unit will be made out of 3/16 stainless steel, and BackcountryCAD told me that they found while stress testing that the Leatherman bit driver broke first. And also, I have this really nice DeWalt bit driver. This fits in there great. So if that's something you're interested in, here is my Hazette screwdriver. And you can see here, it will go in just fine. And I can even lock it in there when I get the right turn. And you can actually use it, like that in a normal screwdriver. So that's just a really cool thing. Banana 4 scale, please subscribe. Guess what? I wrote a children's book called Who Says Pooh? It's a funny read-aloud children's book about words in different languages that sound phonetically like the English word poo. Buying a book today helps support my channel. And also, you'd brighten up my day a whole bunch. Link is in the description. Now back to the video. So next up, we have the Deburr tool. This, I think, is really cool. But I'm going to start with the negatives of this tool first. There's a little bit of wobble here. I think his tolerances were slightly off, but that's nothing that actually impacts the use of this item. So I don't actually consider that necessarily a negative, but I would point that out. The next negative is when you're putting it away. If you put it away where the deburr tool is like that, you're fine. You can open it up, no problem. Okay, but if you put it up away where the deburr tool comes in like that, I wonder if you can see that, it can go behind that little clip there, and then when you try to take it out, it gets a little stuck. It requires a little bit of force to get that out. But either way, it will close just fine. Now for the overwhelmingly positive items of this tool. First of all, it works great as a deburr tool. It takes standard deburr tools. You want an M2.5 screw. I love that he put that on there so that you knew exactly what you need to get it out. You unscrew it. You can take it out. Here's a new one. This one's black, so you know that I've changed it here. The fact that he marked what tool you need to change it is a great attention to detail. When you buy a multi-tool, you know that most of the tools are going to work well, but not as good as having a dedicated tool for that function. This is one of the few tools you can get on a multi-tool that works exactly as well as the dedicated tool. That is freaking awesome. Now, BackcountryCAD did let me know that he has made improvements already to a new version of this deburr tool that only takes up 2 slots in your Leatherman instead of 3. So that's pretty great. Now right now he is making these for the Leatherman Surge. I'm not sure if he has plans to make them for other models as well. To give you an idea, banana force scale with the whole multi-tool, I guess. And finally, we have the utility knife blade. The unit I have is a test unit. It has some design issues that have already been corrected on the retail version that are not represented here, but quickly I'll go through some things. So the tolerances where the tip of the blade right here seat inside of a little pocket right here were wrong. So before this was sent to me, BackcountryCAD snapped the end off of this so that it would actually fit in here and I could test it. But the retail version's pocket there works perfectly. I've seen pictures of it. I'll show you here. And it seats in just fine. It's a nice little way of protecting it so that your hand, when you're opening it, doesn't hit the corner of that. You'll notice that when it is put away, this little part of the blade is still visible and it's actually quite sharp. Talked to BackcountryCAD. He pointed out that other people had a similar issue, and the retail version's back will be extended to cover that so that when it's in its closed position, there's no way you'll cut your hand on that. In fact, here's a picture of that update here. Functionality though, it will still be mostly the same as mine. So the utility knife retaining screw acts as a thumb stud to open the knife blade with. You've seen me do that several times now. I think that's a really cool little design element that really kind of gives you that. And then because you can see here, there's a little lip right here, there's no risk of cutting your fingers when you open it. Your thumb will always be protected because the blade where your thumb's going to be is protected. Now in mine, there is a little bit of back and forth play. That's nothing that concerns me, and I think that's just my specific unit because again, this is like an alpha unit, you know what I mean? Like this is a rejected unit that he just shipped to me to be able to review. You can see side by side how the blade sticks out. To my eye, actually, the stock Leatherman blade might stick out a little bit more. Though, because this sticks out differently than the way the stock blade flip sticks out, okay, it might not work with some of your custom cases. So here I have this magnetic case. I'll show you how it works. So it works well. Great magnet. Now with this guy, first of all, I can't get it in here. And while I can get it in there, you can see there's an air gap and it doesn't hold nearly as well. So some of your custom 3D printed like Zap Wizard cases or something like that might not fit this guy either because of this. So that's just something to keep in mind. Here is the stock serrated blade that I took out for this blade. Okay, if you look on the back of it, you'll see that little tiny indent. That indent is there because it interacts with the little indent there as a little safety feature so that when things are closed, there's no way you could accidentally open it. A little bit of a security latch there. This does not have that. So he did tell me that he's taking it into consideration for the next batch. If you get one without it, that's not a big deal. Once you actually install it and use it, you'll actually see a little mark where that little pin is pressing. And once you got that little mark, okay, just give it a little tap with a metal object so you can get a center drill bit in there, do a little tiny bit of drilling, and then you've done it yourself. So overall, I like this mod very, very much. I use a utility knife in a lot of my work. I really like how responsive BackcountryCAD is to ideas and thoughts about how to make his designs better. He's a really awesome guy to deal with, and when you've created something that you put a lot of effort into, sometimes it can be really difficult to receive feedback on those items. So I think that's what makes BackcountryCAD such a worthwhile person to buy from. He's really invested in giving you the best product he can give you, and he's innovating far better than Leatherman has in a very long time. If you like these mods, you should check out the epic hammer mod by BackcountryCAD that I reviewed last video right here. Thanks for watching.